Proudly sponsored by heshes.co.uk, a fast-growing boxing equipment brand that give 20% of all sales on the branded products back to a boxing gym of your choice.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another niche box video. Today we are going back to Hull, this time for Hull FC versus Castleford Tigers. Quite a big game, but for different reasons. Castleford obviously at the bottom of the table, not 12th, 11th, but they're probably in the worst form of the bottom three. Huddersfield picking up a good win against Wakefield yesterday and against Catalan at the weekend. Wakefield beating Wigan last week and beating Salford the week before. So Castleford really need a result here today to keep to really cement themselves as the team that will survive. Wakefield only 2 points behind now, and the game between Wakefield and Castleford only a few weeks away. Hull FC, well, they've got a really good chance to close the gap to the playoffs now. Leeds losing yesterday to Hull KR. Salford playing Lee, a game which, based off current form, you'd say they'll probably lose, which would mean if Hull FC can win today, they can close the gap to only 2 points to the playoffs, and really giving themselves a good chance to end the season strongly. This could go either way, so let's get to the game. I'd just like to add, I did say there that this game could go either way. I seem to say that a lot now. I do think Hull FC will comfortably win this one, I should add. I'm going to say Hull FC by 22 this afternoon. I think they're going to be way too strong for Castleford to pick up a comfortable victory. The two previous times they faced this year, Hull won 32-8 and 32-30. So Castleford are looking to overturn a two game deficit, I guess, and try to stop Hull FC from doing a 100%, what am I trying to say, winning all three games against the Tigers this year. I have now arrived at the MKM Stadium for Hull FC's Armed Forces match with Castleford Tigers. I will tell you the team news as I get it. The team news is now out for both Castleford Tigers and Hull FC. For Castleford, Riley Dean and Jordan Johnston both get a start. Albert Betty plays. He obviously played in the derby last year. For Hull FC, there's a lot of interesting calls. Davy Litton and Harvey Barron get starts. Not sure whether there's an injury to Darnell McIntosh. I haven't seen. If not, Harvey Barron gets his chance. Cameron Scott starts in second row, and Chris Saté is on the bench for that side, which Hull FC have used so many times this season. Kick-off is just about 20 minutes away. The heavens have opened here in Hull. It is absolutely chucking it down. It'll be interesting to see what dynamic that has on this game. It'll definitely make it harder. I think it will probably benefit Hull FC, who will have the confidence, and obviously the great Jake Clifford. The game is now about to get underway. Hull FC and Jake Clifford will kick us off. First try of the game, it's gone Hull FC's way. No one takes control of a bouncing ball after Jake Clifford puts up a kick, and then Adam Swift does, and he scores. It's not converted by Jake Clifford, and it is 4-0 to Hull FC after 8 minutes. We are 30 minutes in, and Castleford are ahead after 3 repeat sets. Castleford find themselves in great field position, and then some horrible defence means that Elliot Wallace goes in the corner. Gareth Widdop converts, and it's 6-4 to Castleford Tigers. Hull FC are now back ahead. Jacob Miller goes high on a Hull man. Hull get the penalty for it, and then Carlos Trumabave goes over to score. Jake Clifford can't convert again, but Hull lead 8-6 after about 20 minutes. Hull FC are penalised for offside, dead in front of the post. Castleford choose to go for a 2, and Gareth Widdop slots it between the posts. It is now 8-8 after about 25 minutes to half an hour. So injury concern for Hull FC is Carlos Trumabave has come off for Jordan Lane. John Lane, I imagine, will slot into a second row, and Cameron Scott will move to the centre. Another injury concern now for Hull FC with Cameron Scott going off for a HIA. This is leaving Hull FC very light in the centres and wings sort of positions. Brad Fash comes on for him. Half time here then at the MKM Stadium. It's Castleford Tigers at 8, Hull FC 8. We're all square. That was not a great first half for rugby league, to be honest. The quality was dire. It was penalty after knock-on after knock-on after penalty. There was a lot of errors in that, and neither side could capitalise on their opportunities. Hull FC had about 5 to 10 opportunities. Castleford had at least 5 opportunities which they should have capitalised on and potentially scored. But it all came to no avail. Elliot Wallace scoring for Castleford after Adam Swift opened the scoring. Then Karlstrom and Barbe scored. Jake Cliff converted neither after I said this weather would suit him. And although I say this weather would suit him, it's back to sunny again now. But Jake Cliff not performing great. Hull FC not performing great. Castleford not performing great. And that is why it's 8-8 at half time. All square. Both sides will have to improve if they want to win this game. So a second half could be quite good, but yeah, not a great first half of rugby league. And injury concerns for Hull FC with Karlstrom Avave and Cameron Scott both coming off injured. Cameron Scott obviously with a HIA, so he may come back, but it didn't look great, so I wouldn't expect him to. But we'll see how the second half goes. I'll keep you updated. Half time, Castleford Tigers 8, Hull FC 8. We are back underway here. Hull FC get first use of the ball. FC have hit the front once again at the start of the second half. On the first set they get a penalty, and then on the resulting set off a back of a penalty, Chris Satter barges his way over to score. Jake Clifford then converts. Hull FC lead 14-8 after about 43 minutes here. Apologies, it was Liam Sutcliffe who kicked that conversion, not Jake Clifford. Back-to-back tries for Hull FC, and wow, Chris Satter breaks the line on the first tackle. He goes on an incredible run, offloads to Adam Swift, and he runs the length, or runs the rest of the length to score. Liam Sutcliffe converts, and it's now 20 points to 8 to Hull FC. This game is flipped on its head now, and we're now 45 minutes in. So the Tigers have gone over, they find a gap in the line, Jacob Miller goes through it, gets a pass away to Jack Broadbent, who scores under the sticks. It's converted. It's now Hull FC 20, Castleford Tigers 14 after about 50 minutes in this game. Hull FC are over again. It's a testing kick-off. Castleford knock-on from the resulting scrum, of a second play from the resulting scrum. Beretta Ferramo shoots out the line and leaves a huge gap for David Litton to run through and score. Liam Sutcliffe can't convert it this time. It's Hull FC 24, Castleford Tigers 14 after 55 minutes. Another try for Hull FC. What a second half then. It's back-to-back tries again for Hull FC. Cameron Scott this time getting over. Liam Sutcliffe converts. It was virtually, Cam Scott scores virtually right next to the sticks. It's now Hull FC 30, Castleford Tigers 14 after about 58 minutes. What a second half for the Black and Whites. I went to the toilet and I missed another Hull FC try. It was Cam Scott who scored it and Liam Sutcliffe converted. Hull FC now lead at 36-14 with just over 10 minutes to go. Beretta Ferramo scores in the corner for Castleford. Gareth Widder misses the conversion. It's Hull FC 36, Castleford Tigers 18 with 10 minutes to go. I just realised now that yesterday I forgot to film my outro and post-match thoughts for Hull Catalan. The game did finish 36 points to 18 to Hull FC. Surprisingly dominant on the scoreboard, considering that first half where obviously I said both teams were absolutely dire, and really in the second half Hull FC seemed to just not be making any of their mistakes really anymore, or if they did, we weren't as consequential, whereas Castleford still were making their mistakes, probably not as frequently or as badly, but were still having a massive effect on Castleford's performance, whereas that wasn't the case for Hull. Chris Satter yesterday, he was the architect of Hull FC's great second half, up until for Hull's first 3 tries in the second half. Chris Satter was directly involved. He scored the first one, and obviously in the second one, that great try where he broke away down the middle of the field and got a pass away to Swift, who scored. So massive performance from him, massive performance from Swifty, scoring twice. Clifford was a bit quiet yesterday, surprisingly not like himself. Cameron Scott had a great performance, scoring twice. And obviously, I said in my coverage, in my little in-game thoughts, that I didn't think he'd be coming back. I was at half-time, I said I didn't think he'd come back from his head injury, but he did. He passed his HIA, Hull FC losing Houghton and Tomavarve to injuries. They went straight down the tunnel. That'll be a concern, but it's 2 weeks now until Hull FC next play on the 27th of July against Huddersfield, so there's a good chance they'll be back. As for Castleford, they'll go back to the drawing board once again. It wasn't a terrible performance from them, especially in that first half, went toe-to-toe with Hull, but again that was maybe more owing to the poor quality of the game. And that's something we've seen of Castleford over this season. Although the game was really a free hit for them, with Wakefield losing, it would have been a brilliant result if they could have got the win and really got that gap up to 4 points against Wakefield and really cemented their position in the league. But it wasn't to be. A poorish performance compared to Hull, but not a terrible performance from them. A bit like the game against Lee last week. Not terrible, but not good enough. But yeah, Hull FC too strong in that second half, and that was the crucial difference in that game. So thank you for watching. It did finish at the MKM Stadium. Hull FC 36, Castleford Tigers 18.